Hi, this is Terry Porter with the Porter Group here at Keller Williams, and lately I've been hearing a lot of discussions and had some questions about investing. So I thought it might be a good time for us to talk about some different types of investing. Here in the Memphis Mid-South area, with the economy growing and our return on investment here being a really good thing, and with the stock market being maybe a little more volatile than we'd all like, putting your money into investments here in the Mid-South is a really good idea. And that's a completely unbiased opinion. But all kidding aside, we will talk today about three different types of investing. One being rehabbing properties to flip them, another being wholesaling, and the third type being an investor who's going to purchase properties to hold as rental investments. So the first type of investing is the rehab investing. And there's a couple of different directions you can go with this, or a couple of different levels that you can take with this. You can buy a property that's in an area that is maybe the worst property in a really good area, and just go whole hog on that property and just gut it almost. You can take it down to the studs and work on electrical and plumbing, and it might need a roof, and you're moving walls and you're rearranging the plumbing and in the bathroom and the kitchen and that sort of thing. It's just a total rehab on the property. And then there's a second level that you could go to where you might buy a property that's a great property in a great area, but it just has deferred maintenance. It's not been updated. You'd be addressing more cosmetic issues with this. You'd be taking the property and updating it with flooring, with the surfaces, such as in the kitchen, the countertops. You'd be painting, be replacing light fixtures and plumbing fixtures, but not going in and taking things down to the studs and like rewiring and that sort of thing. So it's a different level of rehab. And the level that you would go to would totally depend on you as far as your time that you have, your expertise, and the money that you have to put in it. The margin that you're going to get back on this type of a rehab is totally dependent on those things. Now, the second type of investor that we'll be talking about is a wholesaler. This type of investor is more than likely going to be a realtor or have a real estate license because of the complexity of this process involving the contracts, that sort of thing. This investor would purchase a property below market value, and then during the closing process would remarket that property and assign it to another buyer at close. So the difference between where this investor bought the property and where they sold it to this buyer is where they make their money. So you can see it's a little more complicated. The third type of investor that we're going to talk about is an investor who's going to hold the property. So that investor might be looking at a couple of different scenarios. They could be looking at properties that they're going to purchase, and that property is going to have a great return on investment as far as rental investment in the area. So they purchase the property, and on a month-to-month basis, their cash flow is really good on the property. They're able to reinvest in that property and then gain equity there. The second level of this would be that an investor would buy a property, and it also has a return on the investment that would cover the holding cost on it. But they'll be really looking to make their money in the future as they hold this longer, and they look for this property to appreciate. So they're going to gain not on a month-to-month basis as much, but on a long-term basis. So those are the three different types of investors that we've talked about today. Actually, on the hold property, we have a really great worksheet available for people to look at the properties and evaluate them before they buy them to hold as an investment. I'd be glad to share that with you, or to talk over these types and just see what options might work for you. So again, I hope that this has been helpful, this video. And I am Terry Porter with the Porter Group here at Keller Williams. Have a great day.